Hi guys, good day. Today I will discuss to you about imaginary numbers. So suppose you have this, okay? Evaluate the following. Number 1, what is I raised to 2023? Number 2, what is the value of I raised to I? Number 3, what is ln of I? And lastly, what is ln of -1? So before we solve, I will explain to you what is I. Okay? I means imaginary. So what is that? Actually, I is just the square root of -1. Now, if you square both sides, okay, I squared therefore is just equal to -1. Now, again, if I squared, okay, shall be square again, okay, pag square mo yan siya ulit, katulakan, -1 square, okay, is what? I raised 4 therefore is just equal to what? That is positive 1. Okay. So yung I squared mo, -1, yung I raised to 4 mo is positive 1. So for you to solve number 1, which is I raised to 2023, anong gagawin? Yung makinig. Yung gawin mo, okay, I raised to 2023, okay? Check mo ngayon si exponent mo. Let's say, yung exponent mo, okay, we'll call this n. Okay? Now, n is 2023. Okay? For you to compute the value of I raised to 2023, you must check first if this n or the exponent is divisible by 4. Okay, so let's try. N over 4 is just what? 2023 over 4. Okay? That is what? 2023 over 4 is just 505.75. Okay? So, may butal. Okay? May decimal. So, okay sana kapag whole number. Why? Kapag whole number yan, so matik, yung I raised to 20 or yung I raised to n mo is automatically 1. Okay? So, ngayon, may decimal. So, what is that? Yung gawin mo, yung I raised to 2023 mo, okay? Yung I raised to 2023 mo, raised to 2023, okay? I-breakdown mo ngayon siya. What is that? That is I raised to what? Take the whole number. That is 505 times 4, okay? Times I raised to what? Okay, this 0.75, okay, multiply mo yun ulit sa 4. What is that? I raised to what? 4 times 0.75, that is actually 3. Why? Kasi yung 505 mo times 4, that is actually 2020 plus 3, that is 2023. So the value of I raised to 505 times 4 is just positive 1. Okay? How about this I cube? Okay, so let it be. Yan lang muna. Now, 1 times I cube, therefore, is simply I cube. But of course, you know na yung I cube na yan is simply I squared times I. Okay? Now, what is the value of this I squared? I squared actually is just -1. So in short, -1 times I, okay, is simply -I. And so therefore, I raised to 2023 is simply -I. Okay? So again, if you have I raised to something or raised to n, check mo muna kung divisible ba siya by 4. So kapag divisible siya by 4, so automatic yung value niyan is 1. Okay? What if hindi siya divisible by 4 but it is divisible by 2? Kapag divisible by 2 siya, so yung answer niya is -1. Now, what if may butal? Pag may butal siya, kunin mo lang divisible by 4. Okay? And add, okay? And compute the remaining. Okay? So, in this case, may butal siya na 0.75. So, yung butal na yan, ay times mo sa 4. Okay? So, 4 times 0.75, it is actually 3. Okay? So, maybe ma-confuse ka, why again times mo? Okay? Actually, if you're multiplying variables with same base, okay, yung exponent yan is simply mag-add up. So, yung mangyari, yung 505 times 4 na yan, which is 2022, okay, mag-add lang yan dito sa 3. So, babalik siya sa 2023. So, again, ito yung sagot. I raised to 2023 is negative I. Now, for number 2, okay, what is the value of I raised to I? So, what is that? Number 2. Okay, so, dito. What is the value of I raised to I? Okay, now, para ma-solve natin to, yung gawin natin, okay, i-project natin siya sa Cartesian plane, okay? Now, if you're dealing with imaginary numbers, okay, yung x mo, okay, that represents to the real value. And yung y mo, this is the imaginary value. Okay, now, for imaginary numbers, okay, it must take the form of a plus bi. Ito yung rectangular form niya. Okay, what is that? Let's say, okay, andyan siya. Okay, andyan siya. Yung value niyan, okay, or yung ordinate niyan is the bi, this part, the imaginary part. Okay, and yung x niyan or yung abscissa niyan is the real part or the real part. Ito yung a. Now, of course, mula sa x-axis, it tends an angle of theta. Okay? Now, this is the rectangular form. Okay? But of course, you can express it using Euler's identity. What is that? That is e raised to theta I equals what? The cosine of theta plus the I sine of theta. Okay, now. Okay na. So, paano ngayon yan? I raised to I. Okay? So, yung gawin mo, okay? Yung gawin mo, kunin mo yan, okay? Z therefore, supposedly, A plus BI yan. Okay? But here in this case, yung nangyari, naging 0 yung value ni real part. So, in short, that is 0 plus 1 times I. Okay? 1 times I. So, in short, this is just Z equals I. But of course, hindi man yan I lang. May raised to I yan. So, ang gawin mo, i-raise mo din ito sa I. Okay? So, I raised to I. Ito ngayon yung nahanap natin. Okay, now, again, if you express it in or using Euler's identity, yung mangyari, I or E raised to theta I, okay, equals cosine of theta plus I sine of theta. Now, stop muna tayo dyan, okay? Yung goal natin is isolve natin yung angle na yan. Question. For this case, okay, sa anong angle masisiro yung x or the real part? Okay? Mangyayari yan, if this radius, okay, will reach this point, okay? Mangyayari yan if theta becomes what? Becomes 90 degrees, okay? So in short, at theta is equal to 90 degrees, so magiging vertical siya. Kumbaga, yung z mo is magiging imaginary part na lang, wala na siyang real part. So in short, yung theta mo dyan is 90 degrees or what? Or pi over 2. Okay? So, dito natin siya i-assume. Okay, now, substituting, what is that? E raised to theta I, okay, is equal to cosine of theta plus I sine of theta. Now, what is cosine 90? Or what is cosine pi over 2? Of course, mathematics will tell you na magiging 0 lang yung value niyan. So, if you doubt, you can input it in calculator. So, matik yan. Cosine of 90 is 0. Of course, makita mo na, okay? So, what is this? I sine of pi over 2. So, again, this is just 0. So, in short, 0 plus I sine of 90. Okay, so sine of 90 or sine of pi over 2 is just actually 1.0. Okay, so what is that? So 0 plus I times 1, in short, this is just I. Okay, so e raised to pi over 2I is just equal to I. But of course, hindi naman yung hinahanap natin. Hindi naman yan yung hinahanap natin. Okay? Yung hinahanap natin is what? Yung hinahanap natin is yung z raised to I. Eto, z pa lang yan. What if erase natin siya sa I? Okay? What is that? E raised to pi over 2 or, sorry, e raised to pi I over 2, okay, equals I. What if erase natin siya by I, okay, by I. Ito, erase din natin by I, okay. So, yung mangyari, I raised to I is just simply what? That is just e raised to pi over 2 times I squared. Now again, what is the value of I squared, okay? I squared actually is just negative 1. So in short, e raised to pi over 2 times I squared, which is negative 1. And so therefore, that is just what? Negative 1 times pi over 2, that is just negative pi over 2. So this is the answer. So pag ma-encounter mo ito, I raised to I is simply what? That is just e raised to negative pi over 2. So this is the answer. Okay? This is also the answer. Okay? Answer yan. This is the answer. Now, for number 3, what is the value of ln of I? Okay? ln of I. Number 3. What is ln of I? Okay? Now, para ma-solve natin siya, again, we'll use this figure or the Cartesian plane. Anong gagawin? Okay? Again, it must take the form of z is equal to a plus bi. Question, ano ito? Okay? Yung I na yan actually, okay? Yan lang yung imaginary part. Okay? So, if this radius subtends an angle, okay? Question, saan mangyayari na magiging 0 yung real part, okay? Again, it will happen at theta which is equal to 90 degrees. So, dito yan siya mangyayari. Kumbaga, andito na si radius mo. In short, yung angle mo is already 90 degrees or pi over 2. Okay. Now, na-define mo na yung theta mo is 90 degrees or pi over 2. Okay. Gamitan mo siya ulit ng Euler's identity. So, e raised to what? E raised to theta I is just equal to what? It's just equal to cosine of theta plus I sine of theta. Now, e raised to pi over 2, e raised to pi I over 2 is just equal to what? At theta equals 90 degrees, automatic, yung cosine of 90 mo is 0. Or cosine of pi over 2 mo is 0. Okay? The sine of 90 degrees or sine of pi over 2 is simply what? 1. Now, yung I mo ngayon, or yung e raised to pi I over 2 mo ngayon, is equal to I. Okay? What if you'll take ln of both sides? Okay? ln. Okay? ln mo rin ito. ln of I. Okay? So in short, the ln of I is just what? That is just the ln of e raised to pi I over 2. Okay? Now, what is this? Tandaan, the ln of e raised to something, okay? Tandaan ha, the ln of e raised to something is just equal to that something. Okay? So again, the ln of I, which we're looking for, is just equal to what? Ln of e raised to pi I over 2. So what is the value of this ln raised to e, or ln of e raised to pi over 2? Again, the ln of e, or the natural logarithm of e raised to something, okay, is just equal to something. Magka-cancel yan, okay? Ln of e, magka-cancel yan. So yung mangyari, kung ano yung exponent niya, yan na yung sagot, okay? So this will now become the answer. Okay, this is for number 3. Okay, now for number 4, lastly, what is the value of ln of negative 1? Okay, so yung gawin mo lang, okay, ln of negative 1. Now, okay, para ma-solve mo siya, okay, balik ka ulit dito, okay, dito na lang, okay. It must again take the form of z is equal to a plus bi. Okay? Question is, ano yan siya? Okay? Is this imaginary part or the real part? Yung negative 1 na yan. Actually, this is the real part. Kumbaga, okay, yung rectangular form ng nito, okay, naging 0 si imaginary. So, yung nangyari, z is just equal sa negative 1. Yan na lang siya. Okay? So, kailan nangyari yan? Okay? Actually, mangyari yan siya if yung radius mo mula sa x-axis, positive x-axis, okay, iikot siya papuntang what? Okay? Papuntang theta equals what? 180 degrees. Why? Makinig. Okay. Using Euler's identity, cosine theta plus I sine theta, okay? Guys, at what value of theta we're in, yung cosine niya is negative 1. Is that 180 degrees? Yes, okay? And at this point at the same time, okay,